Have you ever been paralyzed by fear or felt like the world is out to prove you wrong? Well, stick around as I unpack my Boxing Day meltdown and the deeper truths I've uncovered about fear and resilience.
Hey, this is Francisca, and this is my mid-crisis life. So, on Boxing Day, I decided that I was going to put all these reels out and start trying to drum up some interest in this YouTube channel. And I'm really grateful to my son because he spent loads and loads and loads of time, um, chopping up all these videos for me, making reels, making his little Excel spreadsheet, putting them all on the thing. I mean, he got paid handsomely for it, but I'm really grateful to him that he did that. And I think one of the things that I realized on Boxing Day, which I hadn't been aware of prior to that, was that the reason that I'm grateful to him for having done it is because it meant that I could be detached from this whole process. And I didn't realize it until Boxing Day came and I looked on my little meta business thing, whatever it is, and out of 370 reels, 340 of them had all failed to publish. Now, I did not know that you can only publish 30 reels at any one given time. And I did not know that if you publish more than 30 reels at one given time, Instagram will accuse you of spamming and then stop you from being able to monetize your channel. I didn't know this. Now I do. So on Boxing Day, this is what I woke up to. I woke up to a message from Instagram saying, "You're a spammer. We've stopped you from being able to make any money off this channel. Go fuck yourself." I was like, oh, okay, that's a bad start. And then after that, then realized oh crap, none of these reels have published, or 30 of them have published or whatever. And my body immediately shut down and went into panic mode. And my first instinct was run, run, run away, run away. Don't deal with this. Don't deal with any of this. Just run away. And I got in my car and I went to my friend's house and I cried my little heart out to my friend. And she was kind of they're there. I'm not really sure what you're upset about. Just change the date on the reels. But the thing is, it wasn't really about that. It was about this overarching and underlying feeling that I have that everything is going to go to shit. I'm always waiting for the other shoe to drop. I'm always thinking to myself, well, you could do that, but the likelihood is that it's not going to work. You don't win. You don't get what you want. You're not valuable enough. You don't have enough merit for things to work out for you. And when I woke up on Boxing Day and I saw that, my subconscious went, yep. Yeah, of course. Because you ain't shit. What are you trying to do? Trying to make something happen? Trying to be more than what everybody ever said that you could be? Just go do your 9 to 5, sit your ass down, shut your fucking mouth, and realize that you ain't shit. Of course this was going to happen. But the thing that I think is really interesting about it is that whatever happened, my body was primed and waiting. My subconscious was primed and waiting. My ego was primed and waiting for something to go wrong. And of all the things that could have gone wrong, this is the most minuscule, minute, minimal issue I could have possibly faced. It's a technical issue, basically. It's not nobody watching, nobody caring, everybody telling me, like, you're just a crazy lady sitting in your car most of the time, talking crap that nobody can relate to. No one cares. Like, it wasn't that. It was just a technical issue. So as I sat at my friend's house and I cried my heart out, and then I calmed down a little bit, and then I panicked again, just thinking about it, and cried a little bit more, and then was like, I have to get in the shower because I'm a mess. And I stood in the shower and I was thinking about it, and I was feeling it in my body. Because this is the other thing, right? It's like that panic comes from a really, really deep seated belief system that I am not valuable, and that everybody else knows it, and that everybody else thinks it, and that if I try to do anything beyond my station, everybody's going to see, and everybody's going to remind me how little value that I have. So it's kind of always there, ready to be ignited. And it only took something really small in order for that to happen. What's my point? My point is that I allowed myself to feel it. And I allowed myself to feel the pain and the devastation of something that, to all intent and purpose, wasn't really real. And as I was going through the process of that in the shower, and I was really feeling it viscerally in my body was shaking, my chest was pumping, my heart was going. I could feel my body vibrating with disappointment and rejection, all personified in this technical issue. And as I stood there thinking about it, I thought to myself, okay. Well, I didn't think to myself. What happened is that underneath all of that emotional turmoil, once I had released the most of that from my body, I had a realization. The realization was that this is all about hope and disappointment, Fran. And I had a memory I remembered when I was about 9, after multiple, like, years and years of being let down by my dad, of him saying that he was going to come and get us, of him supposed to come every other weekend, of sitting at the window, watching car lights go past and thinking, oh my God, this is him, he's here, and him not turning up. Times that he just disowned us. My dad was disowning us from like 6 because my mum bought a card for my gran and it turned up a day late, and he was just like, well, what's wrong with you? And disowned us and didn't see us for 6 months. And I'd had that trauma for so many years that I made this decision at about 9 or 10 that actually I wasn't going to hope for anything, because it was too painful. It was too painful to be disappointed. And I decided that actually, if I didn't hope, then there was no possibility that I would be disappointed. And even saying it now, I just think, how sad is that, man? How sad is that to make that conclusion at such a young age? To just be like, well, I'm just not going to have any hope or any optimism. I'm not going to have any belief or faith that anything's going to work out. I'm just going to not even hope for the bare minimum. I'm just going to expect pretty much nothing. And if I get anything above that, then that's all good. And I think so many people think like that, right? They're like, well, I don't have any expectations. I'm a realist. It's not a realist. It's a pessimist, right? Reality is whatever we want it to be. It's whatever we make it. It's however we perceive it. It's however we choose to engage with reality is what it is. Like, deciding I'm not going to have any expectations of anything so that I don't feel the pain of disappointment isn't being a realist. 100% not. And as I stood there in the shower and I had this epiphany that it was about my issue with disappointment, I allowed myself to really think about and to imagine what it might be like if all of my worst fears came true. It's like, what is the worst fear at the moment? It's that I put myself out there And it's not even that I get rejected. It's not even that people say mean things to me, which is what's been happening as well. It's not that people say amazing things about me. It's that absolutely nobody cares. Oh my God. That is my absolute fear. And I stood there and I allowed myself for a little while just to think about what that actually might feel like. And you know what I realized? I realized even if that happens, right? Okay, what am I going to do then? Well, probably going to just pick myself up and maybe try again or maybe not. But the fact is that I've proven to myself on multiple occasions that I have the emotional resilience to deal with disappointment, to deal with anything, in fact, that comes my way. I don't need to be in fear that I will not be able to handle and not be able to deal with something that I believe is going to cause me harm. Because the fear that I can't deal with it is creating a bigger problem than the actual fucking problem itself. Because the truth of the matter is that if I put myself out there and nobody cares, that will hurt for a little while, but I'll be okay. I have been okay. I've always been all right up until this point. I've managed to be able to make it through. So what would be different on this occasion? Nothing. So I guess what I'm saying is that if there's anything that you are fearful of, whether it be being disappointed, losing loved ones, being left all alone, being rejected, being let down, whatever it might be, right? Failing at something in some way, not reaching your full potential, whatever it might be. I guess the advice that I would give to you is to look and to try and have discernment about whether that actual thing is causing you the pain or the fear of that thing is causing you the pain. Because oftentimes I think it's probably just the fear. It's the fear that it might happen that causes us the most pain. Because I guarantee every single one of you, if you look at your life, there isn't anything that you haven't been able to overcome. There isn't any disappointment, any rejection, any letdown, any trauma, any harm, any difficulties, any adversity that you haven't been able to overcome because you're still here. So yeah, maybe try to think about that the next time your body's pulsating with fear. Okay. Something that I'm grateful for. I think I'm grateful for everything that I've been through that has allowed me to develop the instinct to have that discernment, to know that my body is reacting to something at the moment. Because I think a lot of people, when their body reacts to stuff, they just push it down, or they explode, or they allow their emotions to get the better of them. And I think just recognizing, okay, my body's having an emotional reaction right now, and it needs to feel something, and that's okay. It can do that. But being able to do it in like a purposeful and more contained kind of way then allows all of that to shift so that I can see the truth, underneath all of that. And I think that is something that I'm really, really grateful for, because it allows me not to get caught in the cycle. It allows me not to drown or be buried in those moments. And before I know it, it's like 6 months later and I've been in some like depressive funk. And only now am I dealing with my emotions, and it's the same shit that I could have dealt with 6 months ago. So I'm really, really grateful for that. Yeah, okay, that's it.
So tell me, what's a fear or disappointment that you've had to overcome? Let's share and support each other in the comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and join me on this journey of self-discovery and growth.